Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to talk about a rant. And I can't believe I have to talk about this stupidity, this dumbness that some of these vocal minority fans are talking about. So last night I watched Friday Night SmackDown and I was excited. I was saying, yes, yes, yes. Daniel Bryan is in the main event of WrestleMania like he so rightfully deserved. Should have won the Royal Rumble like I talked about months ago. Why he should have won. But of course, we got these vocal minority people that are all pissed off that Edge, the part-timer, is not going to get his quote-unquote match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 37 one-on-one, spear versus spear. First of all, nobody wanted this match. Okay? Nobody wanted this match. And if you say you did, you're full of shit. Okay? Most of the people before the Royal Rumble didn't even think Edge was going to be on SmackDown. They thought he might feud with Randy Orton or someone on Raw. They didn't think he was going to go up against Roman. Most people thought they were going to do Goldberg and Roman. So this bullshit that, oh, we wanted Edge and Roman all this time. No, you're not. You're a liar. You're full of shit. Okay? So let's just put that on the effins right now. Excuse me, but it's the truth. Alright? So let's get started with this. So, the whole thing with Daniel Bryan being added to WrestleMania is simply put that Vince McMahon has baggage remorse. He has baggage remorse because he realized that he made a mistake. That Daniel Bryan should have won the Rumble to begin with. He realizes that. You don't make a bold move like this with Vince McMahon unless you know something's wrong. Okay? You don't. Now, I've seen some people defend Edge that, oh, he won the Royal Rumble there, so he automatically should get a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Are you stupid? What are you talking about? Have you not been watching the same wrestling that I have been watching since I was 6 years old? Because I'm 29, and I'm pretty sure there's been multiple people that have won the Royal Rumble match and have either A, not headlined WrestleMania, B, have had other people added into it, or vice versa. So let's go back to WrestleMania 2000. The Rock won the Royal Rumble. What happened? Oh yeah, it turned into a fatal four-way match. Let's go back to 2004. You know, we don't like to talk about him that much, but Chris Benoit, who won the Royal Rumble match, right? Number one, same like Edge, by the way. Oh, what happened to him? Oh, that's right. Shawn Michaels inserted himself into that match. And well, it became a triple threat. Hacksaw Jim Duggan won the first Royal Rumble. He didn't main event WrestleMania at all. Because Hulkamania was running wild during that time period. What else? What else happened? Oh. Who else? Who else? Who else? Oh yeah, that's right. John Cena won the Royal Rumble in 2008, right? Oh, did he get a one-on-one match? Did he get a one-on-one match against Randy Orton for the WWE Champion in 2008? Oh, that's right. He didn't. It was a triple threat with Triple H involved. Oh yeah, guys. Oh yeah, Royal Rumble, guys. They gotta have a one-on-one match. Oh wait, I also forgot about WrestleMania 22. in 2006 when Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble, and it was a triple threat between Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio. Oh yes, how could I forget that? But you want to know the one that I remember the most? 2014, when Blutista won the Royal Rumble match. He won the Royal Rumble match. Everybody booed him out at the building. And then we had Daniel Bryan hold up Monday Night Raw, challenge Triple H. If he beats him, he gets inserted into the main event match at WrestleMania, which that all happened, and Daniel Bryan then won the main event by making Blutista tap out. Point being is, this whole BS that everyone's talking about on Twitter about the Royal Rumble guarantees a one-on-one match at WrestleMania is freaking stupid. If you go back, you can go back all the way to the beginning. This is wrong. This is false. False information there by some of these vocal minority people, which, by the way, No DQ actually did a poll asking fans if they thought it was good. Do you agree with adding Daniel Bryan to the main event of WrestleMania? And so far, the poll is with a resounding yes, 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 yes. 63% over 30 of no's and 7% not sure. So apparently, to you vocal minority people that don't understand wrestling, I've actually argued with some of you people that don't know wrestling that very well. I've been watching the sport since I was 6. I'm 29, guys. I think I know what I'm talking about. Apparently, you people don't get it. And not to everybody, but to the people that think Edge isn't a part-timer. Yes, I'm talking to you, the guy who I was arguing on Twitter. You do not know what you're talking about. Okay? Edge has only wrestled like what? Two televised shows, and one of them ended in a no contest. Freaking he wrestled at Mania last year and then was gone for several months before he came back to continue his feud with Orton. And then after that, of course, he got the injury and was out for the rest of the year. He comes back, wins the Rumble, but then after that, we don't see him that very long. And there was a guy, a YouTuber, that No DQ actually advertised. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. I'm going to spell it. Just ALYX. He made a good YouTube video talking about the whole thing, and I agree with it. The story that they told, even though it was advertised Edge versus Roman since the Elimination Chamber there, when he chose this opponent, or chose which title he was going for, Daniel Bryan was inserted into this feud, even though it didn't become official until now. It was clear as day that Daniel Bryan was inserted into this match. He was inserted into this storyline. You know, Edge won the Rumble, hardly did anything. They waited a couple of weeks for him to make a decision, but didn't really do anything with that. And meanwhile, while this was all going on, Daniel Bryan was doing this feud with Roman. He won the Chamber, and then right after, Roman comes out 30 seconds later after the win to defend his title. Not a fair match at all. And then they do the Fastlane thing, and Edge finally starts to insert himself into this with the whole You know, I'm going to be the special enforcer. He beats Jey Uso to be the special enforcer, right? And what happens? What happens? Edge costs Daniel Bryan the match. Now, first of all, it really annoys me that no one has mentioned this aspect. Daniel Bryan made Roman Reigns tap out. Yes, there was no referee present for when Daniel Bryan made Roman Reigns tap out, but Edge was there, and at that point in the match, Edge was the special enforcer. He had already inserted himself as the referee when he did the count for Roman for the spear, which Daniel Bryan kicked out for. So yes, Edge could have awarded the victory to Daniel Bryan because he clearly seen Daniel Bryan making Roman Reigns tap out, but instead he was too focused on hitting Edge was too focused on hitting Daniel Bryan with the chair, so he didn't call the match. So that's something that a lot of people have not gotten, that, you know, and not even WWE has brought this up, that Edge could have called the match. He had the ability to call the match because he was the enforcer, and the freaking referee was knocked out, so he can actually insert himself as the referee and make the decision. But he didn't do that. He turned heel, and of course we had the shitty ending where, you know, he hit Daniel Bryan and then hit him again and then hit Roman Reigns, and then Roman Reigns somehow recovered from the chair shot and then just pinned Daniel Bryan. You know, shitty ending if you ask me, but it was a great match outside of that whole ending. But I would have rather seen Edge spear Daniel Bryan, you know, for Roman to have won. But that's just my little nitpick on the Fastlane match. But Edge turned heel. He turned heel, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Roman's a heel. Edge is a heel. Obviously, they're not going to have two heels against each other. Daniel Bryan is in the match because Daniel Bryan is going over at WrestleMania. And I know some people are saying, oh, and even some of my friends have bought into this too, that Daniel Bryan isn't going to win because he's just added to the match so Roman Reigns can be protected, or Edge is going to be protected. First of all, I hate this logic because Roman Reigns can lose a match, okay? I mean, the guy literally just tapped out at Fastlane. Okay, Roman Reigns, as a face, dominated multiple stars. As a heel, you know, even though we didn't like it, as a heel, he has been dominating stars since, you know, he came back and won the Universal title. He's been the champion ever since. Him eating a pin is not going to hurt him, first of all. Cena has lost at WrestleMania. Okay, it did not hurt him to lose to, because he ate the pin when John Cena and Triple H, Randy Orton at WrestleMania 24. John Cena, who was the face of the company, lost that match, and he ate the pin. He ate the pin for Orton. I don't see that hurt him. So the whole idea that Roman can't be pinned here, to me, I think is kind of dumb. Because he can easily just win back the title at any given time. But also, Edge being a heel now, there's no way Edge is going to win. There's no way Roman is going to win. Because this is not in the Thunderdome. This is going to be the first time WWE is going to have fans in attendance for over a year. Do you really think this has been confirmed to be night 2. I still can't believe they're doing day 1 and day 2 this year. I understand last year, but this year I still can't believe it. But night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania, okay, this has been confirmed to be night 2's main event, which means it's the main event of WrestleMania. It is literally the last match of WrestleMania, period. Okay, do you really think they are going to have one of the two heels in this match win over the guy who is the babyface in the middle of the ring with fans for the first time In over a year. In over a year, they're having fans. And you really think they're going to send the fans home with a heel winning? Do you really think that? Do you really think that? You really think Vince would have added Daniel Bryan to this match with the expectations that he was going to lose? Because Roman Reigns can easily win the title back at the next pay-per-view or even 2 pay-per-views from now, if they really wanted to. Because obviously Daniel probably doesn't want to be the champion that long, because he's thinking about, trying to kind of go more part-time in the next, couple of months. He said that this was probably his final run as a full-time wrestler. So Daniel Bryan probably is going to only have the title if he wins the title. He's probably going to only have the title for maybe like 2-3 months, if that, depending on what happens. Do you really think that they're going to have Daniel Bryan lose? First of all, I don't believe the reports that he is being brought in because of the pin. Because again, the fan element, him being the only babyface in this match now with Edge as a heel, Daniel Bryan has to win here. He has to win the match. He'll probably pin Edge. I don't think he'll pin Roman. I think he's going to pin Edge. And that might set up a feud with Edge, after Mania. But there's no way Daniel Bryan loses here. He's gonna win the title. I can't see him losing. I can't see them losing. I can't see them putting over a heel in the last match of WrestleMania in the middle of fans for the first time in like over a year. The first time in over a year, guys, that they've had fans in attendance, and you really think they're going to have the fans go home unhappy? Okay, do you really think that? Do you really think they're going to have that set up with WWE being the babyface company that it is when it comes to WrestleMania main events? Always ending usually with the babyface winning. That's typically what he wants to do. That's typically what Vince McMahon normally wants to do, is always have the WrestleMania victor be a babyface. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but then they also have like a spin, like with when The Miz won, and then you had The Rock, come in and take him out at the end, so the fans would go home happy. But typically, you usually see the babyface go over in the main event, especially in this situation where it's the first time in over a year that we're gonna get fans, and you're really gonna have the babyface lose. That makes zero sense. There would be no point in adding Daniel Bryan if you were going to do that. If you were going to do that, you might as well just have Edge stay in there. You might as well just have Edge and Roman stay in and do it, because it makes no sense. Daniel Bryan was specifically added to win the title. There's no doubt about it. Again, Edge and Roman could easily be the main event of SummerSlam. One-on-one. You could have in a couple of months from now, you have Edge come back, face Daniel Bryan and beat him one-on-one, and it could set up a match between him and Roman down the line of SummerSlam, depending on how long you want Daniel Bryan to be the champion for. There are definitely ways they could do it, depending on how long Daniel wants to be champion too, nonetheless. If they want him to pull long until SummerSlam, they could do that and have him go up against Roman and have Roman win it back. There are a lot of different things they can do. And it also depends on if they decide to keep the Universal title on SmackDown, because they could always switch the world titles, to different brands too, if they decide to have the Raw shakeup, the night after WrestleMania, like they always do. They didn't do it last year, but you get what I'm saying, though. I mean, there's a lot of different things they could do, after WrestleMania. But right now, Daniel Bryan is definitely winning. And I'm happy that he's in the main event. Like I said, I agree with what just ALYX said, that if the story was about Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, which has been about, Edge hardly hasn't done anything. If you were to ask anybody, people would have thought that Daniel Bryan won the Royal Rumble, not Roman Reigns, or not Edge, because Edge hardly did anything in the lead up to this story. To me, I thought Daniel Bryan should have won the Royal Rumble. I was all happy and all hyped for Daniel Bryan to win this Royal Rumble, and he didn't. And I still can't believe they didn't do it. Obviously, Vince McMahon has baggage remorse. And to all the people that compare this to 2014, 2014 was completely different. Nobody wanted Batista to win the title. Randy Orton versus Batista for the title. I like Batista, but nobody wanted Batista to come back and win that title. Okay? Daniel Bryan was the most over guy at that point in the company, bar none. Bar none. It was his moment to win that Royal Rumble. It was his moment to win it. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it. And people went apeshit about it because he was the guy. He was the guy at that point. Batista had not been with the company for like 4 years. Came back the Raw before the Rumble to announce that he was in the Royal Rumble. People did not like that aspect. That was like pre-Batista right there. Okay, or actually, no, that wouldn't have been pre-Batista. Well, no, he did. Did he? No, he didn't even win the title yet. He hadn't. That was before. I mean, he had won the title once, but he hadn't won it as much as he'd won after WrestleMania 30. WrestleMania 30 is when people started getting fed up with Batista winning the title. Because that's when they started, the streak, and then he ended the streak, and then he started winning the titles all the time. So, when that all happened, Batista, him winning the Rumble was a huge mistake. WWE thought, okay, this guy was a former WWE wrestler that had success for us. He left us, and then he went on to do Guardians of the Galaxy, and they just expected that people would just love him coming back as the conquering hero. And that was not the case. People wanted a wrestler that was there. And Daniel Bryan had been the guy at that point. And that is why Daniel Bryan had to be added to that match. That match would have been a stinker. Batista versus Randy Orton would have been booed. That would have been a terrible match. People would have trashed that match. But most people probably would have left before that match had gone on because it would have been that bad. It would have been that bad, especially if you had the streak end too, because that was when they ended the streak. Could you imagine Batista and Orton being the snooze fest main event, and then also earlier that night they would have had Undertaker lose the WrestleMania undefeated streak? Could you freaking imagine that would have happened? Okay, without Daniel Bryan there, the people that are saying that are stupid. Okay, the people that are saying that, oh, this is the same as 2014. This is not nearly as bad as 2014. 2014 was terrible. It was so bad CM Punk quit because of how bad it was. Okay? I mean, there were other reasons too, but I'm just saying that. It was so bad CM Punk quit. Okay? There were so many ramifications because of that Royal Rumble in 2014. There were so many ramifications because of 2014's Royal Rumble. Okay, so many ripple effects from that. You cannot compare the 2014 WrestleMania build-up to today's build-up. Okay, WWE did this. Okay, I don't know why WWE did this. If they were going to do this, they should have just had Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble, because the story of Daniel Bryan and the story of Roman Reigns, it builds itself much better than Edge and Roman Reigns, just because they both have spears. Okay, Daniel Bryan was chosen by the fans to be the face of the company. Roman Reigns was chosen by Vince McMahon / the WWE management to be the face of the company. That story literally writes itself. Okay, that writes itself. That story. There was so much better storylines you could have done if you had Daniel Bryan simply win that Royal Rumble match. You could have literally announced that he's wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania right then and there. You had all that smacking talk stuff he did with Paul Heyman before the Royal Rumble. There was so much they could have done with this build, with Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble match and going on to WrestleMania to go up against Roman Reigns. So much they could have done. But WWE blew it because they wanted, for whatever reason, Edge to win it. Because they thought that bringing in, a legend, I guess, that would be what the fans wanted. But it wasn't. They wanted Daniel Bryan. And this is why. And this is not the fans' fault that Vince actually gave in. I mean, personally, I wish he would have given in earlier and just had Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble. But this is the reason, and I call these people that are bitching about Edge versus Roman one-on-one not happening, the vocal minority, because we've seen multiple polls now that have clearly indicated that most people wanted Daniel Bryan in this match. Most people wanted Daniel Bryan to be the one that wrestled Roman Reigns. And while we're not going to get Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns one-on-one at WrestleMania 37, we're at least going to get somewhat of it in a three-way. And so I'm happy for this. All three of these gentlemen, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, and Edge, all came back from looming career-threatening injuries. Edge obviously broke his neck and was gone for 9 years before finally coming back. Roman Reigns had leukemia cancer and was able to defy the odds and come back. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan himself had a neck injury as well that kept him out for 2 years. Well, actually, no, he had concussion problems too. He kind of had both, though. Daniel Bryan's first injury was kind of a neck injury, too. But then, of course, he had to permanently retire for about 2 years because of the concussion. The whole concussion concern that he had. And that took him out for 2 years, and he was a SmackDown general manager for a while. And this is why. This is why it happened. Okay, these guys defied the odds. Everybody should be applauding these guys. Okay, all of them, including Edge. Edge, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan. They should all be applauding these guys because all three of these people, at one point in their careers, were told by WWE officials that they would never wrestle again. Think about that. Think about being said that you're never going to be wrestling again, okay, which is your profession. Okay, and they all defied the odds and are now wrestling in the main event of WrestleMania. Everybody should be applauding these guys because I believe this match is going to be great. I think Edge is going to do great. I think Roman's going to do great. And I think Daniel Bryan obviously is going to do great. I think all these guys are going to do great. And I think this is going to be a worthy main event regardless of it being a three-way match. Okay, there are a lot of great triple threat matches, and I think these guys are going to do it. And we're going to finally get probably a good main event of WrestleMania. Okay? Last year wasn't that good. Brock didn't really do that much with Drew. We're going to get a worthy WrestleMania main event in front of fans, and I think everyone should be happy about this match. I think everybody, no matter who wins, I still maintain my belief that Daniel Bryan wins, but no matter who wins this match, no matter who comes out on top, I believe this match is going to be a great match, and we should all be happy that this match that is going on, regardless of what side you're on. But at the end of the day, this is my rant on this matter about Daniel Bryan being inserted in the main event. The vocal minority needs to stop bitching and complaining because you are in the minority, and you need to start accepting that this is a great match. And Edge versus Roman can still happen at any time, okay, after WrestleMania. Okay, there are still many opportunities for it, okay? But this is the main event, and it is a worthy main event, nonetheless. So that's all I got to say. Comment, rate. If you like to video my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for all the latest content. Also, make sure to check out the video that I talked about from Just ALYX. He made a very good video on this, defending the main event for Daniel Bryan being added. That's about it, guys. Discord link in the description as well. I'm out of here. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku Moderate. Peace!